Hi guys, welcome to another Roarockit video tutorial. Today we're going to be building one of our pre-shaped skateboard kits. Today we'll be working with the street deck shape, but this video should help you out if you're working with the pintail or our little rocket shapes as well. Please refer to the instructions before you actually do your pressing. There's lots of good information inside and it'll come in handy right when you're in the middle of your glue up. This build works best for two people. It can be accomplished with one, but as always, more hands help out. We've only got a couple of minutes per session to accomplish the glue up and get everything in the bag. So you want to go through your checklist first. That way you make sure you've got everything on hand so that you're not running around the shop in case you've missed anything and eating away into your time. So that being said, we've got our street deck veneers. All 7 layers. You'll want to refer to the instructions again just for the veneer order so that you can make sure that you've got the different cuts in the right place. That being the a couple long grain sheets as well as the cross grain sheets. Order is important, so again, please refer to the instructions. We've got our elastics for holding everything together. We've got our foam mold for the shape. We have our Type-On 3 wood glue for lamination. Our measuring cup to measure it all out, our glue roller to apply the glue, we have our trusty little plastic hand pump, some breather netting to help the hand pump work, and of course finally our thin air press vacuum bag. You'll want to do yourself a favor and pre-open this just because it can stick to itself really easily and you don't want to deal with that in the middle of your pressing. Fold it up and get it out of the way somewhere safe so you won't damage it. And then we're ready to go. I'm going to bring in Kash and we're going to do this glue up. Hey, so this is Kash and he's going to help us out with our build today. We're going to jump right into the glue up, but at home you're going to want to do a dry run first without any of the glue, just to become a little more familiar with the process and the parts you'll be using. We'll be doing our press as per the instructions in 3 stages, 3 sessions. The first session being sheets 7, 6, and 5. 7 is just the face sheet without holes. Again, refer to the instruction sheet for your layer order. Well, why don't we get to it? So you're going to want to measure out a little bit of extra glue for the first sheet just because we need to prime our roller. The rollers do absorb quite a bit of glue, so we're going to put on a bit of extra to compensate for that. The first one should be about 2.5 cups, and everything else, every other layer should be about 1.5 cups. Well, there we go. Now when you're doing this at home, you may want to wear not so great clothes just in case you get glue on it. The stuff is water-based, so it's easy to clean up, but it is waterproof, so if it dries on your clothes, it's never coming out. An apron always helps. That looks good. So we'll flip it over. What you're going to want to do is with every sheet, while you're rolling it on, just make sure to check for any dry spots or anything with, any big clumps of glue. Make sure you get a nice even spread on every sheet. Again, we only have 7 minutes to work on this, so you're going to want to work as fast as possible. A couple tips for working faster, use your roller end to end on the whole board. You don't need to worry about working glue into any one spot. Looks good. Let's flip. All right, so we've got our first 3 layers glued up. And we're well under our 7 minutes, which is good. So we're going to throw that on our mold here. And with your elastic bands, we can hold everything together. So make sure everything, all your sheets and your veneers on the mold are lined up. Everything looks nice and centered, and we're going to throw it inside the bag. Throw your breather netting in. You want to make sure that it gets under the valve at the very least, and you can have it hanging over the ends just for extra effectiveness. When you take off the sticker backing for the sealing tape, throw it back in the bag just to make sure you've always got it on hand, and then pull the corners apart just to get a proper even seal. Make sure that your sealing tape is properly affixed. In our experience, when somebody has a leak, 99% of the time it's always the sealing tape just wasn't properly done up. And once we're ready to go, we're going to pump out all the air. If you're working with a buddy and it sounds like he's starting to slow down, jump in and take over. We want to get this done as fast as possible. Great. That clicking sound you just heard usually means that there's no more air for the pump to draw out. That's a good time to stop. You're going to want to make sure to check your bag for any creeping vinyl, either between the board or on top of the board, right on the edges. To fix that, you simply need to pull the bag out. Looks good. I think that's a good press, Kash. Yeah. So we'll let this sit overnight or for 8 hours minimum, and then tomorrow we'll be ready for session 2. All right, we're back for session 2. Session 1's project is all dried up in the bag, so we're ready for the next stage. We're going to open up the bag. You want to be a little gentle when you're opening this up. Just make sure that the sealing tape all sticks to one side. And replace the sticker backing before you do anything else, just to ensure the health of your sealing strip. We'll pop that out of the bag, set our mold aside for later. We'll be pressing onto the back of session 1's project. The idea is to put it right back on the mold where it was with the new sheets laminated on top. So let's get to that. Again, just like yesterday, you're going to want to work with 1.5 cups with each layer. And roll away again evenly, making sure you cover everything. Now, a tip for protecting your mold is before you get at the lamination project, you can cover your mold in packing tape or some kind of plastic wrap, just to prevent the glue from sticking to your mold and the board. If that were to happen and you pulled your board off the mold, you could rip the foam and damage the mold. That looks good. Let's flip it over. Again, we're going to put it back on the mold and band it all together with our elastic bands. And put the whole project back in the bag for another drying session. Don't forget to put your breather netting in the bag. And again, keep the sealing strip backing back in the bag and tug on the ends to seal your board. Conventional sealing methods like a C-clamp or a zip-lock, don't really hold a good seal, so we really recommend against trying those. Excellent, so we're all sealed up. Let's fix our bag for any creepage. That looks great. So we've got 5 of our 7 layers all glued up and sealing in the bag. We'll be back tomorrow for session 3. And we're back for session 3. So session 1 and 2's project is now dried up in the bag, and we're going to bust it out and laminate the final 2 layers onto our board. Again, be delicate with your sealing strip. Replace the backing. We're going to get started. One last time, stick to 1.5 cups of glue. And again, make sure you've got even coverage and you've covered everything. Excellent. And again, we take off the sticker backing, place it in the bag for future use. Make sure you've got solid seal with your bag. We'll pump that air out. Sweet, there's our clicks, which means our bag is fully pumped. We're gonna do one last tug, get rid of that vinyl creepage again. All right, that looks great. Sweet, so we're gonna leave our skateboard dry overnight, again, 8 hours minimum. And by the time we finish, we should have a board ready for woodworking. We're going to take care of all the woodworking and finishing in part 2 of this video. You can find the link below. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Marcel and this is Kash. If you've got any other questions or comments about the process, don't hesitate to click the link below and or give us an email or give us a call. We'll be around to help. Check out our website, Roarockit.com, for any extra tutorials, videos, as well as our web store where you can buy all of our products. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.